Aaron Rodgers. Yes, yet again. It's been nearly a week since the Aaron Rodgers story jumped a couple of DEFCON levels, and yet it's still showing no signs of easing off or slowing down. In fact, it's now going next level. Now we're at the possible trade destinations for Aaron Rodgers level. And what could those teams offer the Packers level? And the fact that it even reached this level will never not be stupid. I mean, it really is incredible to think that nearly a week out from the news bulletin that started this round, there has been nothing to walk it back, nothing to calm it down. And now we're actually talking about who might have the best package to offer the Packers. It's gotten to that point. Who might have the best package to offer the reigning league MVP? When was the last time the reigning league MVP was trade bait? The last time? I'm going to say never. Because why the hell would you look to trade the best player in the league? Who would do something that stupid? Seeing Aaron Rodgers in an orange Crush jersey would be the weirdest thing ever. Because it's looking more and more like that might actually happen. That would be the weirdest thing ever, even more weird than seeing Peyton Manning in Broncos gear. But not this weird. I mean, I understand why he ended up going there. Yes, he put up numbers when he first got there, but the dude's neck was fused together. In the end, he was not nearly the player he once was. He was all noodle-armed, could barely get the ball to the sideline. And the Colts happen to have a future Hall of Famer in the waiting, or so they thought. The Packers, on the other hand, have a totally different situation. The Packers have a Hall of Famer coming off an MVP season, and they've got a third stringer who has proven nothing at all, who is not ready, waiting in the wings. Love is not Andrew Luck. So, of course, the Broncos want to take another shot at this. Of course, the Broncos want to try to run this back. In the end, Pinky was a shadow of himself. Rodgers, though, is still playing at a very high level. Rodgers also would be running on the greatest rocket fuel ever. So again, the Packers could not have handled this any worse than they did. And yet, even though they butchered it and botched it, it somehow still could have been salvageable. It could have been worked out as long as they did everything in their power to fix it and make it right, considering they were the ones who broke it, considering they were the ones that brought this on themselves, considering they've got nobody to blame but themselves. But they still could have fixed it. They still could have made it right, but they're not. And the question is, why the hell aren't they? And even if they are trying now, given how badly they butchered this, apparently it's already too late. So, bottom line, how did it get to this point? Why is Aaron Rodgers so pissed? How far back does this go? When did it start? I don't know. When did it start? Did it start with the Jordan Love pick? Or did it go back even further? And can you say that it started when they did not involve Rodgers with the hiring of Matt LaFleur? Or could you even argue that it goes all the way back to the day of Mike McCarthy, when Rodgers had to carry that guy? And that's not an easy guy to carry, right? Look at him. Had to carry that guy every single year. Either way, this has been brewing for a long, long time. And the team had to have known what was going on. The team had to have known that they had a fire burning out of control. But instead of dousing that fire with water, they hit it with lighter fluid. They trade up. They draft a replacement quarterback in the first round of 2020. I mean, that's fine. That's right. They've got to look out for their organization. I mean, it does seem incredibly dumb that they did so at a time when the guy was coming off a 4,000-yard season and 4 INTs total and a trip to the NFC Championship game. But whatever, do what's best for the organization. You can come up with a plan if you'd like. Do your thing. And by the way, it's not the pick per se. It's how they handle that pick. If you're going to draft arguably the best player ever's replacement, then you tell that guy before you do that. And then you tell him why you're doing that. And hell yes, you owe that to Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying he's going to be happy about that. but he'll be a hell of a lot happier if you shoot him straight, you look him in the eye, and you tell him what you're doing and why you're doing it. And again, hell yes, you do owe that to that guy. Don't tell me you don't. He's Aaron freaking Rodgers. You owe him that. But the moment you take a quarterback in the first round, that clock starts ticking. At some point, you need to figure out. You need to find out whether or not that quarterback can play. So the Packers had their plan in place. They had their plan to move on from Rodgers when they selected Love. Except Rodgers jacked that plan up by going out and having one of the best seasons, not just of his career, but in NFL history. He threw for 4,300 yards, 48 TDs, and just 5 INTs. So if it feels like they weren't pumped to see the guy play some of the best ball of his entire career, but rather that they were pissed that he was jacking with their timeline, like they had already decided exactly what they were going to do with Love, if it feels that way, it's because that's exactly what happened. Like, oh crap, now what are we going to do? Rodgers is still the best quarterback in the league. The hell are we going to do now? I'll tell you what we're not going to do. We're not going to change our plan. We got a plan. This guy could throw for 100 TDs and 9,000 yards and no picks. We stay the freaking course. You plan your work. You work your plan, no matter how bad that plan is and how dominant your Hall of Famer is at quarterback. So what do we have here? We got ourselves a power struggle, a power for who's going to implement their plan, a battle for control of the agenda. The team wants it on their terms, the player wants it on his terms, and now they're fighting over a timeline. And apparently both sides are dug the hell in. Like Rodgers wants to hear, man, we appreciate you, dude. We appreciate the hell out of you. You're our guy. We're committed to you now, and we're committed to you in the future, and here's how. We'll prove it to you. We're going to prove it to you by guaranteeing you more money, since you have no guaranteed money left, and we're going to give you more time. Obviously, that guy's not hearing that. If he were, he'd be coming back. In short, the team is picking the unproven QB and the GM over the NFL MVP and the first ballot Hall of Famer. They are. Like, if you're Goots, you might tell yourself, we didn't draft Love to sit him for 3 years. Yeah, maybe not. But that's exactly what you should do if you have the current league MVP. Yeah, but that wasn't our plan. Great. Change the plan. Because in case you're not paying attention, Rodgers already changed your plan by bawling out his ass. You ditched the plan. You have your MVPs back. You're really going to pick Love over Rodgers. Based on what? The hell has he shown you? You and I really haven't seen Jordan Love, but apparently the team has. They've seen him in practice. If this guy were lighting it up and doing amazing things, we would have heard about that by now. If this was an Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes situation, we would know about that by now. But that's not what's happening. That hasn't come out. So bottom line, you want your legacy to be that you picked Love over the MVP. You want your legacy to be you picked the GM over your NFL MVP QB. You want to be known for that. Yeah, you go right ahead. I'm not doing that. You're not putting that on my tombstone. You picked Love and Goots over Rodgers. And yes, I know that even great quarterbacks do not always get to end their careers the way they'd like to. Tom Brady left New England. Yeah, because Bob Kraft chose Bill Belichick over him. I even understand that on some record. Belichick has a track record. Brian G., however, is not Bill B. So here's some free advice to the Packers. Admit and own the mistake. Apologize to your most important player ever. Tell him you're going to do everything you can to make it right. And if you can't do that, and sticking to your plan and being right is more important than doing the right thing, then you go right ahead and do that. Move Rodgers, give the ball to Love, and let everybody know you pick your third-string quarterback and your GM over your league MVP. I don't know. It sounds like the worst plan ever to me, and no way I would ever do it. But you do you, Goots. You do what's best for your organization, even if what's best for the organization is tearing it down and wrecking it. plan your work and work your plan, and you stick to that plan no matter what. Goots, if you want to be the guy who chose Jordan Love over Aaron Rodgers, and you want that to be your legacy, you be my guest. It ain't going to be me. It ain't going to be me.